Hello, hello, Stephanie Zima here. Walk It Free, where we heal, connect, and level up. It's the January 15th, I believe, this week of January 15th of 2024 right now. And we're starting a new year, right? We're starting a new year, and it's just, everyone starts out with New Year's resolution, gets so excited, and then usually in week two, right, like right about right now is where we are losing control, where we are losing everything. Life didn't change overnight, right? We changed a year from 2023 to 2024, but our life has really not changed. And what is not changing? We had the goals, but what's not changing is the way how we showing up for ourselves. We are not showing up with different actions. We are showing up with the same set of tools in our tool belt than we had before. Somehow, every year, though, we are running into the same expectation problem, the expectation that out of the sudden everything is going to be different, when in fact nothing is going to be different only because you have a different screwdriver on your belt. Okay. So, I mean, if you're not using that screwdriver, you're not going to change the hole that you're putting into the wall or the screw that you're taking out or whatever you want to call it, right? I mean, it's just something that I've just, top of my brain. It just pops into these analogies just pop into my brain. It is what it is. Anyway, so how do we change this? How do we walk it free? So, walking it free, first of all, can be something completely different for so many different people. And that is, I remember, I'm going to just kind of tell you this quick story. When I first started in building an online business, I've been told to niche down and to make things small and, just I can't attract a lot of people. And, that may be right. But I'm not interested in attracting tons and tons of people. I'm not interested in having, viral reels. I mean, it would be nice if it is, and if some of them were, and but it's not my goal. My goal is to impact one person. That's all I'm having. I want one, and then one more, right? Like at my lenses, one more, the power of one more, one, and then one more is what I want to do, because one at a time, I can help. I cannot necessarily help like put myself out there with and really help. Can I inspire? Sure. Can I educate? Sure. Can I inspire people to take an action? Sure. Can I really impact a lot of people at the same time? I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. But here's what I can do. I can duplicate me, right? What does that mean, duplicate me? Duplicate me means teach one person so well that that person can then teach others, and that person can then teach others, and that person can teach others. Okay, and that is how I can make huge impact on the whole world, and that is what my goal is. Now, when I think about walking it free, for me, it means walking it, meaning the self sabotaging behaviors that I've had, the anger, the feelings of worthlessness, the feeling of scarcity, the fear, lack of courage, lack of self belief, lack of self worth. All these things, they need to be gone, because they are standing in the way of me living the life that I really want to live, full of excitement, full of adventures, full of self-love and love for others, and community and feelings of happiness and belonging. All these things is what I want, but you can't have them if you have all these negative emotions, the scarcity, all the no one is there for me, all the thoughts of I don't matter to people, or no one cares about me, because what we think is what we act upon, right? I mean, our thoughts create our feelings, and our feelings create our actions, and our actions create our results. So if I think bad thoughts of I am not good enough, I have scarcity, all the stuff, the symptoms, so to speak, if I think those things, then I will also create them. Okay, it's just the law of the universe. This is how it is. So, walking it, those thoughts, the mindset need to be healed. Okay, and when I say healed, There are things that have been done to me that I needed to forgive. There are things that have been done to you that you need to forgive. Okay? We don't forgive for the other people. We don't forgive for them. We forgive for ourselves. That is where healing is. We need to take a look at the shadows. We need to look at our shadows to really embrace who we are. And often we are afraid of the shadows because they have been basically, those are our talents. Like sometimes you look at your shadow when in fact your shadow actually is your light. Okay. But because of your circumstances, they have been cast into the shadows. What does that mean? Okay. I'm coming off topic, but this is what the download is just coming down. And that's what I'm supposed to talk about right now. Okay. So here's what happens sometimes, especially when you're growing up with narcissistic people in your life. Here is what narcissistic or unhealed, you can slap whatever label you want on it. Sometimes people are just unhealed and they're just not aware of how they're showing up in the world. That can also be. But long story short, here's what happens. Sometimes, let's say you are a child with a lot of charisma and you have a lot of talents and you have a lot of God-given gifts and you are loud and beautiful and amazing and you just are really attractive to a lot of people. Well, if you're growing up in an environment with people who are really irritated by your light, they might just shoot you down. They might just try to dim that light. They might just say, that's not good. We shouldn't be doing any of this. Now, there's a difference between teaching and raising, disciplining your children and snuffing out their light, okay? But what happens is you're forming a belief that your light, your charisma, your energy, your vibrance, all these things, that energy that's required to live that beautiful, amazing life that inspires so many others, that's not good. Okay, so what you do is you shove it into the shadows. You shove it into the shadows and you cast it out as it's no good. So you kind of put a lid on it. Now, when you put the lid on it and you're not letting it out, what happens? It causes negative emotions because you're starting to not like yourself. You're starting to not love yourself. You're starting to just cutting out a piece of you. So when you cut out a piece of you, needless to say, it needs to compensate for something else. Okay. So you are coming up with other things and you're never really feeling whole. So walking it free is becoming a clear about what is going on for me even. And it's so different. This is why I was talking about the impact in the beginning, because it is so different for every single person. The system on how to walk it free is the same for everybody, but the details are different for every single person out there. So that is why you have to, if you are wanting to walk it free, you have to engage into this mentorship program so you can do the work with me for you. Okay. So what do we how do we do this? Okay, so first of all, we need to reflect on our life. We need to ask ourselves these really tough questions. We need to ask ourselves, what are relationships like? What is our happiness level like? What legacy do we want to leave? Have we ever thought about a legacy? Then we have to define our identity. Step number 2, we have to identify our identity. Who do we think we are? What is our strength? What is our weaknesses? Who do we think we are? Okay, too many of us are not doing that. So who do we think we are? Then step number three is step number three. Step number 3 is breaking the blueprint. What does that mean? So the blueprint is something that we are being taught to do. Okay, it's our paradigm. It's what we believe about ourselves from the input that we have received from other people. We have been taught to do something one way, and unless you actively choose to look at this blueprint and decide, do I believe this? Yes or no? Does it still apply to me? Yes or no? Let's say your parent was deadly afraid of horses. Okay, deadly afraid of horses. So they are telling you all the bad things about horses, all the bad things. So you could decide, I will never go horseback riding because horses are bad. Okay, that's in your blueprint now. You may be the horse whisperer and you love horses and then bring you joy and they bring you peace and they bring you adventure and they bring you fulfillment and they're the biggest passion of your whole life. Well, unless you challenge the belief that horses are bad and you give it a try and see for yourself if you love them or not, you will never discover the passion that could have set you free, right? That, my friends, is a true story, okay? My parents were deadly afraid of horses. I myself have dreams of galloping down Montana field on the horse, wild and free, like the free spirit, okay? I love horses. It's my passion animal, all the things. You have to do this. You have to figure out what is your blueprint, what do you believe, and then you have to challenge it one by one. You have to walk it free. Okay, now number 4, leaving a lasting legacy. Okay, I know. I remember when I talked about legacy in the very beginning, people are like, ugh, you with your legacy, like you're caring about money. It is not about money. Legacy is not about money. Legacy is all about what do you want to give them? See, you have received a gift from your parents, right? Your gift of your blueprint, so to speak. That is their legacy to you. Now, what legacy do you want to leave to your children? And trust me, I journal on that every single day. This is not a one-time deal. This is something you continuously work on, and it changes with the seasons. It's fluid. Life is fluid. We sometimes think like, oh, we're going to do one thing and we're done with it, but that's not what it is. It's fluid. It changes with the phase of the season you are in, right? I mean, I used to not be able to tell my kids any stories because I would always have to worry one would fall down the stairs. Now, they are letting me record videos and doing all the things. I mean, things are changing, times are changing. So embrace the season you are in, journal on what the legacy is in that specific phase, and then just go for it. Okay. Now, number 5, inspire others. Don't be selfish with your lessons. Don't be selfish with the things you know. Don't be selfish with sticking and keeping your opinions to yourself. My experience has been, I always thought it's crazy when people don't want to share their opinions. There's a difference between sharing your opinion and expecting others to take your opinion on. Okay. I share my opinions. I share my thoughts. I share all the things. I'm not expecting you to do anything that you don't want to do, because it's not my right to say you have to do these things. But it is my obligation to tell you what my thoughts are so you can make an informed decision. See, so many of us are not even sharing our opinions anymore because we're afraid to not be political correct. We are afraid to not, or to be judged by others. But you have to share, because the person who needs to hear what you have to say, the person on the bathroom floor, the person who is so desperate, who is lost, who needs that little pick me up, that belief, that ounce of freedom that you can give them, the ounce of information that will spark them to take action, to set them free, that is what is required. And they wouldn't have that if you keep taking your opinions and keeping your opinions to yourself. You've got to let go. You've got to just let go of feeling like you are stepping on people's toes. You just got to be out there and be you, and then let the people sort themselves, right? So here's the thing. Once I learned that concept, I loved it. I started realizing, oh, I'm going to just be me and let everyone sort themselves. So that means the people who don't like what I have to say, the people who don't like my accent, the people who don't like to hear what I have to say, the people who don't like my nose, the people who don't like my makeup, who cares? Sort yourself out. There's so many people in the world. And I'm not talking to the masses. I'm not talking to the popularity contest. I am talking to you who needs to hear what I have to say. Okay? And you know who you are. That's it. I'm talking to you. because nothing else matters. Okay. I truly believe that we have been assigned a certain amount of people in life that we are designed to help. God gives us gifts and we are supposed to cultivate them, nurture them, foster them, grow them like a garden. We are supposed to do all these things, and then we need to water them and we need to nurture ourselves and water them and spread them, okay? And spread them so that they can take fruit somewhere else. Okay, that is what you need to do with inspiring others and leaving your legacy. That's what you need to do. You duplicate yourself. Okay, in order to do all of that and feel also good about your life yourself, here's what you need to do. You need to prioritize your goals, because mental breakdown and burnout comes when you try to do it all at the same time. You can totally do it all, but you cannot do it at the same time. Okay. That is another concept that I had to learn. I can do it all, but I cannot do it at the same time. So you have to prioritize your goals. You have to figure out what is needed when. That goes for your business, that goes for your life, that goes for your family, that goes for your health, that goes for all the different things. What is most important right now? What's pressing right now? What's most important? What comes next? What comes after that? What comes then? Okay, you have to figure it out and prioritize these goals. Then you have to actually walk the journey. Yeah, I know. I have been guilty too. I've set these great goals and then nothing changed because I ended up not walking that journey. Why not? Because you know what? I'm a human. You are human. And when you don't have accountability, when you don't have an accountability support group, and nobody really cares for your progress because they don't want you to change, it is really tough to actually do the steps. So you have to be in a community, you have to be in a tribe that is inspired by your growth, that wants you to go. And that is where I found it. See, my immediate environment didn't want me to change. They still don't want me to change because change is difficult for a lot of people. That doesn't mean they're mad or bad or this and that, but it's just difficult for a lot of people. And if that is you, don't get mad at your tribe, right? Don't get mad at your family or at your husband or at your kids or anybody. Just understand that they are scared too, that for them, their life changes. So the best thing to do for you is to find yourself a community, a coach, a mentor, somebody who has the same interests as you do and who has the same goals. Okay, you cannot run a marathon with somebody who doesn't like running. You're going to drag them, okay, and they're going to drag you down. Remember, you can't rescue a drowning person, without rescuing yourself first, because they're just going to like latch onto you and suck you down. You have to be able to know your escape route, right? And your escape route is a tribe that has the same goals and the same movement in the same direction as you do. Okay. um, you have to also define your worth. That was a really tough lesson for me to learn, defining my worth. I didn't feel like I was worth anything, and all I could see was proof from people around me that I wasn't worth anything. I was doing, and I wasn't getting back. I was doing, and I wasn't getting back. So I kept confirming to myself, see, you're not worth anything. You're not worth the attention. You're not worth them showing up for you. See, you are not worth. That is what I kept proving to myself over and over and over again. When that is you, if that is you, you have to decide that you are worth. And the way how I finally broke through that mindset obstacle was deciding that God is good and having faith that God knew what he did when he decided, Stephanie, you are the one who's going to make it. You are the one who is this one little sperm and egg, and you are going to make it, and it's going to be you. And he planted that seed, and that seed was good. Okay. And that's it. I decided that seed was good. I made it. and the seed was good. That's what I decided. And from that moment on, I started running, I started walking, I started doing things. I started my life over again with the new belief that I was worth it and that I didn't care anymore if anybody was knowing this, because I knew it. Okay. See, this is when you become really unstoppable. This is when you really become powerful, when you do the things because you decided that it's good. Okay. No one can stop you then. I decided that I'm going to plug into that one power source that will never leave me, and that is God. I plugged into that power source and I decided I was having faith in his power. And with that, he's going to assign me where he needs me to be. And I'm not going to worry about it. And it is reassuring. And it's like, it's just so freeing to have that faith that I'm just going to do my part. He's got the rest. I'm not going to have to worry about it. Okay. So taking the action is what's required of me, right? See, I don't have to worry about the big picture because that's him. However, I'm going to have to take the action. Sometimes we are praying because we're thinking like, oh yeah, let's just give me all the things. But see, God doesn't give you the finished cake. God gives you only the ingredients. It's up to you to put them together and make something with them. See, and we forget that sometimes. We forget that we actually have to take the action. We have to do something with the ingredients. So here, he's given me a breath. He's given me a mouth. He's giving me 2 ears so I can listen. He's giving me a microphone. He's given me a phone and a camera that I can talk to you. He's given me the internet. He's giving me so many things. It's up to me to spread my message, to spread the encouragement, to love, to teach, and to inspire. Okay, that is what he's given me, and I need to show up. I need to take the action. What is it that you need to create? What is it that you need to do? Have you written out the plan? Okay, you may have a business goal. Great, do that. You may have a personal goal. Great, do that. You may have a relationship goal. Great, do that. You may have no clue whatsoever what you're supposed to do with your life. Great, let's get started. Okay, if you need to get started with clarity, let's get clear. That's what the walkitfree.com/challenge is for. The challenge is there to find the clarity on what you need to do to get there. Okay, all right, that's it. Over and out this week. Let's go. Let's walk it free. Check the links in the comments, subscribe, share this out. Let somebody hear this message. I love you all, and you got this. Walk it free.